Good afternoon, everybody, and greetings. Welcome here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. This is a show that is dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're here Wednesday night to do another episode of Favorites. So last week I did an episode called 25 rock bands that I never followed and really never had any interest in following. The episode we're doing this week is kind of the same. It's but a little bit of a difference. So this is going to be the 25 rock bands that I never followed, but I might be interested in following. So the difference is basically my inclinations towards them. So the bands last week I had this inclination towards, I am not interested in going there because in all likelihood, to be honest with you, I probably will end up disliking them. So there's no point for me to go there. They may change at some point in the future, but I'm thinking they probably won't. These bands, my inclination is that I might like them, so I might give them a chance. And so that's what we're going to do this week. There's 25 bands here. Some of these bands, maybe I've listened to a song or two, but that was also true of last week's episode too. So, but these ones, I guess it's just which side of the fence I fall on. Last week's I fell on the side of the fence that makes not really interested in going on. This week they might fall on the side of the fence that I am interested in going to. So I've made a list of 25 bands. This one could have been 4 or 5 more, but 25 seemed like a good number, so we're going to go with it. So I do not believe when I look down this list that I own any albums by any of these bands. I have heard, of course, songs by them. They've come up in conversations with people over the years. Some of them I may even have had an inclination. Somebody I know may have really liked them and tried to push them on me as well. So that doesn't always go very well for them. But in this case, these ones, it was okay. So for the most part, they were sort of in alphabetical order for a while, but then I've added some on that aren't really in alphabetical order. So I'm just going to give them to you. First one is Alice in Chains. I've heard people talk about this band fairly favorably. I don't even know that I know a single song by them. Pretty sure I don't know anything by them. But they don't rub me the wrong way, so they went on the right side of the fence, I guess. Next is Alcatraz. I've heard lots of good stuff about this band. I don't even know that I know anything by them. Many channels talk about them in a favorable way, so they have a positive reinforcement with me. So they would definitely fall on the right side of the fence, so I might be interested in them. Next is, of course, Bad Company. This is a band that I've heard lots about over the years from multitudes of people. Many people claiming that they're a great band. And I'm almost certain that I know something by them. But if you were to put the gun to my head right now and say, can you tell me one song where you don't go free? I'm probably not going free. I cannot think of a single song by them. But I have, a good disposition towards them. Number 4, Bullet Boys is another band, recent discovery by me that a few people have put me to. I may have even actually listened to something by them. I think these are some people that I'm going to say that I heard their name on one of Brendan Snyder's new release episodes and was intrigued by it, so it could be possibly them. And I know I've heard of them from several other people too, so they fall on the right side of the fence as well. Cinderella, now I'm pretty sure that one of their albums, or maybe the band in general, was put in at least a battle of the bands for me, or maybe was suggested to me, or I might have listened to, but I can't recall any of it. But they're definitely a band I would listen to. I know that they're kind of a hair metal band, but I don't think of them as I don't think they are a hair metal band, but that's the way I think of them. And they kind of fall on the right side of the fence. The Cult, of course, I know the song We Sell Sanctuary. I kind of like it, but I don't know anything else by them. I've never really followed them, nor ever had much of an interest in following them, but I think they fall probably more on the right side of the fence. So that's 6. Number 7 is Fog App. This is another band that I'm sure I've listened to at times. I'm sure that at least some song by them is known to me, but I never really followed them. But I kind of always wanted to follow them, so I think they fall on the right side of the fence as well. So that's 7. Number 8 is Ghost. This is a band I've heard a lot more about on some channels than I have heard anywhere else. I don't really know too much about them. I can't even tell you what kind of music it is, but for some reason, kind of intrigued a bit by it. So they're going to fall on the right side of the fence as well. The next band, number 9, Humble Pie. This band kind of reminds me of the same kind of scenario as Bad Company. I'm sure I know of them. I'm sure I've listened to their stuff. I don't really know much about them other than I'm pretty sure I've heard stuff from them before. So they, of course, are going to fall on the right side of the fence as well. The next one is Jefferson Air Starship. Now, this band maybe don't really, in the truly sense of the topic we're doing tonight, maybe don't truly belong on here because it's bands I've never followed. I don't know that I followed them, but I'm sure I know stuff by them. I think they did that, built the city on rock and roll. I think that was them, but maybe I'm wrong. I do like some of Jefferson Airplane stuff, but I know that this band is much more commercial sounding and much poppier. I would give them a chance. I think they fall more or less on the side of might be interested in. Okay, so that's 10. Number 11, l.a.guns, same thing. I kind of have a positive feel about the band. Other people have talked about them. So I kind of have a positive vibe about them, but I don't really know anything by them. So I would give them a chance. I might be interested in them. The Ramones, maybe in a strictest sense, they don't belong on this list either. I've never really followed them, but I know stuff by them. I can't think of the titles of a couple of songs, but the music is going through my head, so I'm pretty sure I follow them. So maybe in the strictest sense, they don't really belong on this list, but I might be interested in follow them as well. So that's 12 now. Number 13, Faith No More, same type of thing. I've heard of them. I'm sure I've listened to them at times, but can't recall anything. So I might be interested in exploring them a little bit more. Stone Temple Pilots. This is another band that I know stuff from, but I don't know what it's called. I don't remember anything. I don't remember actually sitting down and listening to them or actually listening to any of their albums and thinking, hey, that's the Stone Temple Pilots. That never occurred to me, but I think I would be interested in learning a little bit more before I make up my mind. The next one up, number 15, this is the Cranberries. So I've never actually listened to any of the Cranberry stuff that I'm aware of. The only thing about the Cranberries make them a little bit unusual on this list is that my dad, his best friend's son was the manager for the Cranberries and actually married Dolores O'Riordan. And so I heard about him all the time. I heard about them from my dad's best friend all the time. Now he's passed away. My dad and his best friends passed away, so I don't hear about it as much anymore. But I guess there's a bit of a curiosity about their music because of that, so they fall into this category as well. So that was number 15. Number 16, the Velvet Underground. Of course, you'd have to be on the moon not to have heard of them. I know I've heard of them. I may have listened to stuff by them. I'm sure that's the case, but I've never really attached the songs to them, so I haven't followed them, but I know I would be interested in listening to their stuff. That also stands for the next band, the Yardbirds. I know stuff for them. Obviously, that was the Jimmy Page connection to Led Zeppelin. But for some reason, I've never actually connected anything I've heard from them to the Yardbirds or to Jimmy Page. I'm sure I know stuff and might be interested in learning more about them as well. Next up, Slayer. I know I've listened to an album by theirs because I'm sure that they were given to me as a battle of the bands. I'm almost sure I listened to the entire album. I kind of remember liking it, but nothing about it. So definitely a band I would have to follow. Would be interested in. So now we're at number 19. So of course the Allman Brothers I have heard stuff by. To me, they're a bit of a meandering band, if I remember correctly. Lots of that jamming. So, however, I do remember a couple particular feelings from them that make me want to go maybe a little bit further into them. So definitely they would fall on the right side of the fence as well. The Hollies, this is the same thing. I know I've listened to stuff by them. I can't remember any of it, but I'm sure that the vibe I get from it is that I would like it and would probably be interested in them. So they would fall on the right side of the fence. So that leaves 5 more. So in the strictest sense, the next band, Kraftwerk, really probably shouldn't be on this list. I'm sure I've owned an album by them at some point, and to me, I remember it being very instrumental and being very kind of new wave-ish, but don't recall too much about it. So maybe would like to explore more of them. So definitely they would be there. Maybe in the strictest sense, they shouldn't be on here. The next one's The Loving Spoonful. The most recent was people giving them to me on one of the monthly programs we did. The one with the albums with a heart or a love theme in them. I'm sure they were one of the bands suggested, and they were a band whose albums I listened to a couple of their albums and found it favorable. So perhaps they don't belong on this list either, but I'm putting them here because I haven't really followed them, and I probably would if given a chance. Traffic, another band this band I probably don't know anything about, but for some reason I have a positive vibe about them, so I think they would be on this list. Tin Machine, I don't know any of their music, but I know I've listened to it. I know this is a David Bowie metal band, and I know I had a real favorable feel about the music, but I never followed them after I listened to it the one time. But they definitely would fall on the right side of the fence, and perhaps don't in the strictest sense belong on this as well. And then the final one is Vanilla Fudge, which I don't know much about, but have a favorable feel about the music. Based on the people who I know who like it, I would have to say that if they like it, I probably most likely would like it too. So they're a band that I will probably explore at somewhere in the future. So the most I can say about them, I'll give you maybe the top 5 that interest me the most of these bands. So probably I would say Ghost falls into this category. The Cranberries, because of the connection I had through my dad. The Velvet Underground, there's 3. The Loving Spoonful, and probably Tin Machine. Or actually, instead of The Loving Spoonful, I would say Tin Machine and Vanilla Fudge. Those would probably be the 5 that have the most chance of me getting into in the future. So I'm going to give you the list one more time. Alice in Chains, Alcatraz, Bad Company, Bullet Boys, Cinderella, The Cult, Fogat, Ghost, Humble Pie, Jefferson Starship, l.a.guns, Ramones, Faith No More, Stone Temple Pilots, The Cranberries, Velvet Underground, The Yardbirds, Slayer, The Allman Brothers, The Hollies, Kraftwerk, The Loving Spoonful, Traffic, Tin Machine, and last but not least, Vanilla Fudge. So for those of you who've been keeping track, so they're basically, it's a dividing line, I believe. There's a line down the middle where they all sit some of them would fall on this side, on the left side, and would be probably not interested. And then the ones fall on the right side probably am interested in. So that's kind of the way I see it. So anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this kind of fun, tongue-in-cheek type thing that we're doing here today. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you want, you can put comments about any of these bands or what I've said in the comment section below. Or if you want to give your list of bands that you kind of feel the same way about, like you know of them, you've heard of them, you maybe even listened to them on an occasion and don't remember, but get a positive feel and would probably give them a chance. So anyways, thank you tonight for having me. This will be a bit later, this video. This week has been a bit longer. Actually came home thinking I would put this out early and then was eating something. And next thing I know, an hour passed because I fell asleep. Yeah, old age is a bastard, eh? Anyways, I hope to see you all next Wednesday night for another episode of my favorites. So take care and goodbye.